Hello and welcome to New York Socialites. My name is Rachel. I am here with my oldest friends, Stephanie and Gretchen, and there is a lot going on in the world. And we have some thoughts because
Yes.
when there's a lot going on in the world, you need to sometimes take some time and do some self-care. And so today we are here to talk about skincare.
Yes.
Skincare.
Skincare. Very important. All
One
over
of
the
my favorite
socials.
topics.
I don't know about you guys. I don't know if it's because of my age. I don't know if I Google this stuff, but I get a lot of things from Instagram about what skincare I should do. So I'm
Oh my
working
God.
de-influencing myself and knowing what actually works. So this is an interesting subject for me. So
Me
yeah.
too. I know almost nothing about skincare. I'm really just here to learn from Stephanie, who I know is a guru. So,
Yes.
I don't know if I'm a guru. Definitely not a
Yeah.
guru. But
I think between the two of us, maybe we make up a guru because I've done a lot of research about acne as well because I've gotten hormonal acne a lot. So I've done a lot of work on that. And Stephanie is older than me. She's my older sister, and she has been accused of being younger than me my whole life. So maybe she has some expertise there. So,
my
um,
first tip is just don't stress out about men and you immediately look younger. That's my
it's true.
I mean I kid, but yeah.
I mean, stress will express itself on your face no matter what.
yes,
Um,
that is
I kid.
definitely
I
true.
kid. I kid. But I know I have a friend who's like 15, 16 years older and she looks like our age and she doesn't really stress about stuff, especially not men.
Oh, I think I know who you're talking about. She
Yeah,
does not stress at all. Yeah.
let's not disclose anyone's name
But
because we
I
don't
do
We
have
won't
know
anyone.
call her out.
her younger sister, who's also friends with Stephanie, gave me some great tips as well, and she looks amazing too. So, and she's more our age, so we can definitely bring in all our knowledge here. But Rachel, do you have anything you want to ask first?
I do. Okay, so what I want to know from you guys is like, what is your skincare routine? How many steps does it have? Like, what is your just like baseline go-to? What are you guys doing?
Um, Gretchen, do you want to go first?
Sure, I can go first. So, I have been to a facialist before because I do get hormonal acne. It's luckily gone down a lot. And really, the thing that helped me the most with that was tretinoin, which is just a really prescription grade retinol.
I do know about that from
Yes,
a dermatologist who
yes,
was like, just take this, don't ask any questions.
yes. It's literally
Is it
from all the
topical?
yes.
Okay.
So from everything I know, really the thing that is going to work the most, do the most magic, is always going to be retinol. Based on all the studies, there's not much else that's going to make a huge difference. There are things that will make some difference, of course. Um, but my facialist always told me wash first with like an oil, like jojoba oil, for example, to and you can do just that if your skin likes it that way. My skin, because I have acne, I have to use an antibacterial after that, but that helps get off like um, so it's called a double cleanse, I guess, based on the K beauty standards. But jojoba oil is great because it gets off the makeup and everything. There's also lots of makeup cleansers out there. I personally like one from, I think it's Verb, maybe. It's like a little pink tub. I like that one. It's called Take the Day Off, I believe. Um,
And now, is that a cleansing oil?
Cleansing like oil, it's almost like feels like a lard, but it's like nicer than a lard. I have used one from
It
Clinique that
feels
feels
like a
well,
lard.
because like the Clinique one is literally feels like a lard. This one's more silky, so it's like the Clinique one works great, but it's just like uh less it doesn't feel quite as nice. Um, then I use what I was told by her was I don't always do this, depends on how tired I am, but um, put on hyaluronic acid next or some kind of
Mm.
moisturizer. then the retinol or the tretinoin, like every other night. If you can get to that level, you have to like build up to it. Wait 10 minutes, then do everything else. So,
Wait,
um,
what is everything else?
yes. Uh, so next I use a scar reducing type gel that's from a place called Face Reality. I get a lot of my skincare products from something called from a website called Art of Skincare. Some of them are mid-range and like and quite good. Some of them are really expensive, so I don't tend to get the more expensive stuff because I just don't know what's gonna work for me yet. But she always told me, my facialist in LA, who's from Buffalo, which is nice, that a lot of the stuff you're gonna get at Sephora is you're paying for marketing, and so you really want to go for like more the like medical grade stuff. And Art of Skincare has a lot of good medical grade stuff.
Well, that's interesting. I'll have
Yeah,
to
so I
check that
use
out.
yeah, so I use this hydrating gel, and then I use a moisturizer. I personally like, and she told me this was probably too heavy for my face, but I just really like it. I like Veleda, the Veleda Skin Food Light. You can get it at Wegmans, you can get it wherever. It's just a little green,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
that stuff.
yeah. And then I put a peptide on after that. So the peptides are supposed to help on a microscopic level from your skin losing elasticity. I think it's because it's helping with micro expressions and like kind of like numbing your muscles a little bit. I don't know all the science, but
Whoa.
really it's like retinol
Wow.
is it like always works. Like that's the one you should always be using for aging.
Wow. I'm so impressed.
Yeah, I've done a lot of research because I kept breaking out. Peptides are the other one that like is a pretty good as well.
I
And
need to
on
look
days
into
I,
peptides. Sorry,
yeah,
I don't mean to cut you
no,
off.
no,
I'm
no.
just
And I
curious.
do use netamicide sometimes, if that's how you say it. I don't know. I
What
have
is
used a
that?
bunch of different stuff. It's like another. I get it from the Ordinary. It's like, um, I only heard anecdotally it helps to not break out with tretinoin. Doesn't really work that well for me because with tretinoin, the purge will happen, of course. Like so, when you start it, your layers of skin are coming off. Anything underneath that is there will you'll start breaking out. So I heard anecdotally that it might help with that. Doesn't really work for me, but I hear it's still good for certain moisturizing things. So I get that from the Ordinary, hyaluronic acid from the Ordinary, very, very affordable. Under $10 is where they kind of live. Um, those are serums. And I do have um, a peptide type. So that's on the days I use tretinoin. On the other days, I wash, I use mandelic acid, which is the new thing that's supposed to help with acne. Um, like
I
it used
haven't
to
heard
be.
of that.
Yeah, mandelic acid's like the big new thing. I got this from my facialist. I haven't been in a long time because I've been saving money, but this is what she told me several months ago. Um, so I have a nice mandelic acid that I also got from Art of Skincare, and put that on. Wait a couple minutes. I usually do like a lighter retinol eye cream on days I don't do tretinoin, and then the same stuff. So moisturizer, peptides. If my face uh, is really feeling dry, I'll seal it with like an oil. I know some people say you should always seal with an oil, like put something oily on last. Um, I don't always feel like I need that, especially if I'm acne prone. Sometimes, like around certain times of the month, that might not be great for me. But um, I always loved this. So there are two oily type things that I loved. And one was from a place called Herb Pharmacy, which is in the UK, and I used to get it. And I don't think they sell it anymore. I'm not sure, but it was like this mallow balm. It's supposed to help with like
Mm.
aging. You can get it like from some other venues, not just from their website, but Herb Pharmacy with I believe it's with an it's there's I know there's like another herb pharmacy that has a similar name, and they might have changed their name because of that reason, because they got the other place got bigger. I don't think this is one with an F. This is the one that's PH. Herb Pharmacy is the bigger one. But then another one I found that's a good dupe for it is Green Goose Aloe Healing Balm, and it's like a nice. It's like 3C, so it's good for night. Obviously, don't use it in the day. But I find in the morning, though this is all my night routine. I don't do the retinol and tretinoin at night. Um, in the mornings, I do like to use the Veleda because it's has like a little bit of an oil, so my makeup goes on a little bit better. If my face is too dry, like um, like my tinted moisturizer or my foundation might peel. Though I feel like I've heard that might not be right. So if you're too moisturized, it will pill and peel. So I'm still figuring it out, but that's what I do right now. I've been trying to pin this down for a long time. So it's always in flux, but that's where I'm at right now.
That's
I'm
so
super
intense.
impressed.
I'm so
Well, I had to do a lot of
intimidated.
I had to do a lot of research because I was breaking out so much.
Well, your skin looks great.
It
Thank
really
you.
looks great.
It took a long time, and I still have scarring from it. But like
Oh,
when
I
I first
haven't
got
noticed
here,
any scarring or anything.
yeah, I usually put makeup on over it. I didn't put makeup on today, but um, so just like the darker spots. When I first got to LA, and even a little bit before that, but I think because LA was a new environment and stuff, I was breaking out a ton, and it's always around my chin, which means it's hormonal. So, but the tretinoin really helps with that too, because it just purges everything. So if you do start tretinoin, you can get it anywhere. You can get it online. I mean, you have to have a doctor prescribe it, but you can go to like Nurx, which is like an online place. You can do whatever.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, apostrophe, those types of places. But I'm on a pretty high one. They put me on a higher one at first. I mean, you have to build up to it, or else your skin will get really irritated and stuff. I'm on a pretty high one. I need to get a refill soon. But I will say, after purging for a while, it definitely helps. And it's kind of like based on your skin how much you use it, but everyone says tretinoin is the best thing for anti-aging too. So that's a good thing.
I've read that. And so you put on retinol during the day?
No, not during the day. Don't
Oh,
put it on
okay.
during
I
the
thought
day.
you
Yeah.
said it. You put it on during the day. Okay.
No,
No.
that's on my night routine. Yeah.
Does retinol, is it like an exfoliant? Does it exfoliate or is it like how is it
Yeah.
doing the
I
magic?
think technically it's a chemical exfoliant. But I mean, actually, I'm not really sure what you'd call it because I know when I first started, it just peels your skin basically.
Sounds like exfoliation, but
Yeah.
I get what you're
Yeah.
saying. Like I don't know.
Yeah, because I know glycolic acid is
Mm.
chemical exfoliant. Mandelic acid is a chemical exfoliant. But the tretinoin, when I first started it, literally like layers of skin would come off. Like it was not, like it was physical. But
I have had that
exfoliation,
experience too, and I just assumed that like my skin wasn't tolerating it, so then I
mm,
scaled it way back. But now my skin tolerates it fine. So
yeah,
yeah, you
yeah,
really have to work up to it.
yeah, you have to
I
work
have
up to it. Yeah.
really sensitive skin, so
Yes, yes. My skin is not super sensitive, which is nice, but I did have to, call the doctor and be like, is this okay that it's peeling and stuff? So, but it is, that might happen. If it does it for more than like a day or two, probably not good, is what I understand. So,
okay.
yeah, but
So that
yeah.
sounds like maybe like a 5 or 6 step skincare routine
Yeah,
nightly.
at night, I'd
Okay.
say. In the morning, I'm usually tired. I have to get up really early, so it's like wash, mandelic acid, maybe
And
like
that's an exfoliant.
yes, a little bit, but then you always have to put an SPF if you use the exfoliants. So use SPF with the exfoliants, with SPF with the retinol. Obviously not at night, but in the morning, even if you wash your face, you gotta use it, or else you will damage your skin. So always SPF.
Even if you're not using all of these things, I think you should still use
Yes,
SPF.
yes.
Just
Yeah. I feel like that's the
blanket.
Yeah,
number one thing.
yeah. And I use a tinted SPF moisturizer from Dermatology without the E in it, so just Dermatology.
Dr.
Um,
Dermatology.
yeah. And I mix it because it's not quite the right color. Like it's supposed to be universal, but I mix it with one from Beauty Pie. And I get the right color. So, and it's like my foundation on days I don't wear makeup. So, yeah, that's what I do in the mornings. Sometimes with the hyaluronic acid or the hydrogel or a little bit of the Veleda, like just a tiny bit, like nothing more than like the size of a pea in the mornings. So, or else your makeup will get messed up. with the just the moisturizers. With the tinted moisturizers, I don't care. I just try to because it has SPF, so I don't care. That I think you're supposed to do at least a quarter teaspoon or a full teaspoon. Full teaspoon.
Of SPF?
Yeah.
I think, well,
Oh,
it probably
I kind of
depends on the
slather it
size of your
on.
face.
Yeah, that's true too. But yeah, I feel like
I
that's
don't
And
know.
the
like
intensity of it, right?
Yeah.
probably yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, that's my stuff. Stephanie, do you want to go?
Wow, I'm like super intimidated now. Like, oh my God.
Do you want to follow that incredibly
How
Look,
do I follow that?
specific
I
Jeez.
skincare routine?
it had to be specific because I'm getting older. I have acne, so it has to be like the
I
right
know. Don't
stuff.
you love being in your mid 30s and having both acne and wrinkles? Isn't it
God,
just
it's
the
the
best?
worst. It's the worst. Yeah, I'd say
People
it's
don't
literally the
appreciate how
worst.
hard it is to be a woman. That's
No,
what I
No,
have to
no.
say.
I know.
no.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. But yeah, I'd say I guess at night it's like 5 step. In the morning it's like 2 or 3. I'd say. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say in the morning, my skincare routine is more abbreviated because I just am in more of a rush, you know? But so I don't have acne, knock on wood. But I tend to have really dry skin, not so oily skin. I I've only ever I got into skincare. I got like really into it like right before I turned 30, maybe 28, 27 or something. And it was really because my skin was so dry, it was starting to hurt. Like it would be fine like in the summer, but then like in November it would get
Mm-hmm.
like really dry and it would hurt. And that's when I went out and like it wasn't the first time I had bought a moisturizer, but it was the first time I noticed a difference because um before then, I don't know, like I was in my 20s, my skin was nice. Just wore tons of sunscreen, I'd moisturize, but I never really like noticed a huge difference. As I approached 30, it was my skin was getting like way drier. And eventually I discovered that my skin responds really well to oils. So ever since then, I've also been really into like hydrating oils, and you can get them like rosehip oil is one of my personal favorites, and it's very inexpensive. You can get it at a grocery store or online for less than $10 or $15 or something for like an ounce or two, I think. And so it'll last you a long time. Excuse me. So yeah, when I wake up, I wash my face. I usually just wash it. I don't do like a double cleanse because I don't have makeup on, but I usually try to wash it like a couple times. And because my skin is so dry, I've noticed that especially in the winter, if I use a foaming cleanser, it'll really dry out my skin. So there's actually one that I just can get from CVS, La Roche-Posay. It's like a French one, but you can get it over the counter at
Yeah,
CVS, and
me
it's like
too.
a cream cleanser. And so I use that a lot, but I also have their like foaming cleanser because now that it's like we're getting towards the summer on the East Coast,
Maybe.
I will
It was
hopefully.
40 degrees today.
I
Yeah.
know it was so cold today. But yeah, in theory, I'm gonna be like sweating more, like have more oily skin in the summer, and then like I don't have like super bad breakouts, but I'll have like zits here and there. And so I've noticed if I use like a heavier, dutier cleanser in those environments, it does better. But then in the winter, if I use that, it'll dry out my skin, so I use more of like a cream type cleanser. And yeah, in the morning I keep it I cleanse. I will do a toner and I usually am out of my Recherche Biologique really nice toner, but I also like an inexpensive like just straight witch hazel toner too. So I'll use that. And then I like to put oil on first. So I'll put like rosehip oil, or I also, if you want to go to a higher end oil, I like True Nature or True Botanicals. I think they rebranded their True Botanicals oils, and they have a really nice one that I like around my eyes. But I usually just put that on at night because in the morning I'm trying to do makeup and stuff, and it takes a while to soak in. And then I will put a moisturizer on top of that. And I've gotten kind of attached to Algenist products. They're kind of like
Wait,
a
what's the brand? How do you
Algenist,
Okay.
Algenist.
Okay.
And they're marketed as like a science-based brand out of San Francisco. And I really like they have a night serum that's like amazing. I wake up and my skin, it's like all the same color. It's amazing. Um, but I like their moisturizer. I put it on in the morning, and then I also have a tinted moisturizer that I use, or I'm sorry, a tinted SPF that I use sometimes. But lately I've been using this moisturizer from Tula, which I got at Sephora. I've been using it for a couple years and it doesn't make me like break out or anything. So I've been using that as an SPF throughout the day. Yeah, my steps in the morning are pretty, I mean, I'll be honest, sometimes I'm in a rush and I skip the oil or the moisturizer, but I always like moisturize with something. And then I'm off for my day. And then at night, I have more steps because in theory I have more time or energy or something.
In theory. In theory.
Although I'll just look at it sometimes and I'm like, oh my God. But yeah, I like to double cleanse to take my makeup off. So I really like the LMS like balm that it's like it's kind of lard like, but it'll help dissolve your makeup and then you add water and it like foams up a little bit. And so
Oh,
I'll
so it's
do
like
that.
a double
Yeah.
thing.
Okay.
Yeah, it's nice. And then I'll cleanse again with the La Roche-Posay like cream cleanser. And then I'll do a toner, and then I have a retinol. It's very light. I don't think it's super intense. I should probably try to titrate it up at some point. But it's not irritating my skin, so I'm happy. So then I'll do a retinol serum and then the alginist like serum cream stuff that's just like magical. Like I just love it. And then I'll do like oil for like my under eyes and sometimes I'll do extra oil on top. And yeah, again, as it's getting nicer, the weather's getting nicer, I might not do the oil on top.
So do you do
Um,
oil on like first layer oil and top layer oil?
so I kind of I know like there are are very like attached to their ideas of like do you do oil below the moisturizer or oil on top. I kind of like it below, like doing that first and letting it
Mm-hmm.
like sink in a little bit, but then sometimes I'll just put it on top. So I kind of play both sides, I guess.
Okay.
Well, I have
But I
heard.
really like oils. I feel like really there's something about like having like a good skin barrier, I think, and having like
Mhm.
a probiotic like that I've read about, just like having like a good barrier on your skin so that like if it does come in contact with stuff that's not great, it can kind of, have a protective layer. And I feel like oils do that and like probiotic sprays and things like that can help too. Um
Probiotic
yeah.
spray. I have not heard of that.
Yeah. So, well, I think what's interesting here, Steph, is you're talking about like microbiome, but also hydrating and moisturizing, right? So
Yeah.
those are different things. Hydrating is you're like is like hyaluronic acid. I also love squalene. Squalene, I didn't mention that.
Well, that's an
Yeah,
amazing one. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Also
But
inexpensive and like
yeah,
amazing. Yeah.
I get it from
It's just like
it's just
a
it's like
type
an
of
oil.
oil.
Yeah,
Like
it's kind of
rosehip
like
oil, you can get it from different brands. It's just like a
yeah,
type of oil.
it's a very
Okay.
It's
light
like
oil.
thinner. Yeah, it's really thin and nice. So it's
Yeah.
good to put on in the morning because it'll
Mm-hmm.
just like really absorb into your skin. And then
Yeah.
you don't have to worry about, I mean, you should, think about when you put your makeup on, but
Yeah.
it's quicker, gives you more time.
So the thing about squalane is, I guess it's a little bit lighter. It can be taken from lots of different things. If you don't want to use like shark squalane or whatever, like use a
Yeah.
plant-based one.
Yeah, I think
And
the more inexpensive ones
Is
are
most of
plant-based.
it shark? Is it
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 can
comes from
be, yeah.
It
sharks?
can be, yeah.
But
I've
The
read
good
that.
stuff
but
comes from sharks?
yeah, it can be. But like
Yeah, but I only
so
use the plant-based
yeah.
spoiling
But
Now,
the
oil.
only
why?
thing
Is that an ethical thing? Are you pro shark?
I
I've
just
never
feel
tried
like
shark.
I
I
just
I
feel like I don't know, go ahead.
no, I mean I think when I went to go buy it, probably for the first time at Whole Foods, like the brand I liked that I bought it from, which was a Cure, they're like a vegan brand, so they had plant-based, and I
Mm-hmm.
like it.
Yeah. But
Um,
yeah, so the thing about squalane is it does come from shark liver if you want it.
From
It
its
also comes from
liver.
olives. It also comes from olives, like other plants like olives. And
Now,
the reason why oh go ahead.
I just, maybe you were about to answer this question for me, but like, if it comes from both olives, which are pretty ubiquitous and readily available,
Yeah,
not
why get a
that
shark?
dangerous to harvest in any
I literally
way,
don't
not
know. Yeah.
endangered,
like, why then would you go the extra step to get it from the liver of a shark, which seems like a wholly
I
different
don't know.
enterprise, very dangerous, very expensive. Like, it must be better,
And
right?
it's
Like, it
also
must be
like
markedly better if you're
I
going
mean,
to
it
all the
has
is.
trouble.
Instagram
It's
ever
more
pushed you an
potent.
ad where you're like, I need this thing? I mean,
Okay,
But
I think it's more
not
potent.
shark
I
squalane.
think you get a lot more shark like squalane from a shark liver than you do from an olive.
Sure, it's just
But
bigger. It's just a bigger.
yeah, and I think it's more potent. Obviously,
Okay.
I think the reason
potent
why
for what?
like there's
Moisturizing?
more stuff in there, like more stuff in the
There's
liver.
more squalane in the lip.
But
There's
like
also probably more microplastics. I'm just saying.
well, who knows?
Oh,
But
well, I
like
mean, probably six of one, half a dozen of the other,
I mean,
really.
there's probably microplastics
Microplastics are
in the
everywhere.
container it comes in, even though I use the
Not
glass
if it's
container.
glass.
Yeah, okay. But I
The shark stuff
I
definitely comes in a glass container. Like, after
It
all that, they're not
better.
putting it in a
yeah,
plastic
I
It
feel
container.
like well, you never
better.
heard of
After
you
they
know
harpooned a shark.
well, that's why
I
I don't think
know.
you're supposed to do it because it's really unsustainable. You're killing a bunch of animals just to like get something from the liver. Like it's
You would
not.
assume that there's
Yeah,
some sort of like
Cosmetics.
yeah.
sustainability where like they're also eating the shark
You'd
and
hope so,
using its blubber or
Shark
but
whatever.
so
fin soup.
the
Yeah.
reason why squalane's so nice though is because it does mimic your skin's moisture really nicely. So that's like the
Well,
reason
that's
why I
what it
get.
does.
Yeah, and it's a moisturizer. It's not a hydrator. It's a moisturizer.
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Sorry, we
Oh,
need to
okay.
Go
stop
ahead.
So
again
what's the
because
difference between hydrator versus
So
moisturizer?
hydrator is like a hyaluronic acid. So um hyaluronic like hydrators pull water from the environment and bring them into your skin. So when you use hyaluronic acids, you're not supposed to like just use them last. You're supposed to put like a moisturizer over them because
Okay.
it can like it might not work as well or something. I don't know. Moisturizers like seal
That's what I
everything.
do with my lip
Yeah.
care. So
Yeah.
I have a hyaluronic acid like lip treatment that I like, and then I like to put the Laneige, like that viral
Yeah, the like sticky one.
mask. Do you
Yeah.
remember that, Gretchen?
I
But I
love
bought
that.
that for the first time. I was with
Oh,
Gretchen at a Sephora,
I
and
have oh yeah, I have
what?
some bad news about that. It might not be universal though, but yes, those are they're amazing because they do
What's
amazing things
happening
with
with it?
nothing. Just that I was using it a lot, and I went to the facialist, and she's like, "You have a bunch of blackheads all around your lips. Did you notice that?" And I said, "No." And she's like, "What are you using?" And I said, "The Laneige." And she's like, "Everyone who's come in who has this is using Laneige, so just be careful. Don't get it outside your lips." Yeah. So
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
you have to be really
Okay.
careful. Like you can't like put it on and like
Don't
you
like
know.
smoosh it around.
Yeah, you gotta be really
Well,
careful.
I will say, like, I had the worst, like, bleeding chap lifts of my life in around, like, winter 2019. Long story why I remember this, but I was at a Sephora, I think Gretchen was there too, and I was, like, so desperate, and this is
Yeah,
before it went viral or anything, and I saw it there, and I was like, I'm just gonna buy this $20 lip mask and see if it helps me, and it was the only thing that helped me that winter.
yeah.
So I got kind of committed to it,
And our
but
mom loves it. You give it to our mom. She loves it. She
it's
wants
so
it all the
good.
time. Yeah,
Yeah, it
yeah,
does help, like it's a moisturizer, I guess. So like it helps like trap whatever.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. So
Apparently it does that
moisturizers
so
trap.
well
Yeah.
it can give you blackheads. So
Yes,
keep
yes.
it
So
on
be
your lips.
careful.
Yes, I
But
agree. That
yeah,
product, Steph, do you remember we got it at your bachelorette party?
Yes,
yeah,
yes, yes. I
Yes,
yeah,
love it.
it works
yeah,
Yes.
really, really
It's
well.
so good. It's
yeah.
that's something that went viral, but I like truly believe in.
Yeah, I heard someone on another podcast call it basic, which like
No!
If it's
What's
basic and it
wrong with
works, who
basic?
cares?
If
Yeah,
it works, who
if it
cares?
is basic, that probably means it works.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
Yeah. It's
yeah,
yeah, yeah, whatever. It
yeah,
works.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
All right.
yeah. So
I'll be careful not to.
yeah, just don't get it off your lips. But yes, so we know the difference between hydrator and moisturizer. Use the hydrator first, moisturizer last, and that's an oil, or butters, or whatever you
So
use.
that's why maybe you should put the oil on last.
Mm-hmm.
oil
Because
on
it traps.
last.
It
Traps
traps
it all
it.
in. It's occlusive, would you say?
Mm-hmm. Yes, exactly. It's an occlusive. Yes.
Learned about
Um,
that.
yeah. So hydrator is a humectant. Is that right?
Ooh.
Humectant. All
It like
right.
pulls in. Is
Yeah, it
that right?
sounds right.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
because humid. Yeah.
So that would be good for dehydrated skin if you have that stuff. So look up like aloe, glycerin, hyaluronic acid, but don't put it on last because it will dehydrate more. Um,
No, I always put that stuff on first if I have it. I don't have any hyaluronic acid for my like skin at the moment,
mm-hmm.
but I remember from like over the years, like you put that on first and you put the retinol on first, right?
Yeah, some people do like a sandwich thing where they put moisturizer and then retinol and then another moisturizer.
That's what
Mm,
Some do
I
that.
do because my skin is very, very sensitive and it doesn't
Mm-hmm.
tolerate retinol very well always.
mm.
So,
Yeah. So it just depends on what works best. But
Yeah, my
yeah,
skin can be a little sensitive too.
yeah.
It's certainly not sensitive, but it's not like the most sensitive, if that makes
So
sense.
it's a little sensitive. On the scale of Mormon wives, it is not Taylor, but it is,
My skin?
yeah. Who's the most sensitive Mormon wife? I don't know. It just came out, so we're thinking about it. Probably
Well,
Whitney, to be
apparently
honest.
I
Whitney is probably the most sensitive.
Whitney definitely is the most
Yeah.
sensitive.
Yeah. And then Stephanie thought she was watching season two. She's watching season one. So,
yeah, Whitney was talking
Possibly
about like a
rewatching.
sex toy. Yeah, I know I might
yeah.
have watched this first episode at some point,
Yeah.
but that leads me to thinking about like, sex toy, but also like tools that you can use on your face.
Yeah.
And
Oh, good
like
Botox.
segue.
I I
Mormons
really
for Botox.
like well no, I'm talking about like
Oh,
physical tools like
that's
gua
right. Yeah.
sha, like
Yeah.
rollers. I
Mm.
really love like my skin responds really well to like cold and like ice. So I really like using an ice roller. It like really helps just depuff and make things look more snatched, I guess, for lack of a better word. If that's sometimes I just feel like I'm puffy all the time though, and I feel like the ice isn't helping, but
Well, I feel like
um
sometimes it's a skin thing and sometimes it's like a lymphatic thing, and like
Mm-hmm.
there's
yeah,
some overlap. So,
Yeah,
definitely,
for sure. Yeah. Yeah.
definitely. And like facial massage, I've also done the skin gym. Like
Mm.
I've never been in person, but during like lockdown during COVID, like I would FaceTime with skin gym trainers and massage my face and stuff. And they taught me how to do it. And I think I do think that, like, to your point, Rachel, like lymphatic drainage and just like getting circulation going is so good
Yes.
for your
Yeah.
skin and your whole body, obviously. But like the way we exercise our bodies, like it's also good to do a little more in your face too, because
Speaking of, um, one of your friends told me she's a writer too, I guess, but she told me about these people on the internet who do literally like muscle exercises to keep your face like lifted and to
well, yeah, like tiny
yeah,
little exercises.
yeah, like I can't do them correctly, but like ones that will kind of beef up your cheekbones so they don't like kind of droop when you get older, or
It
relax certain
involves like
muscles,
holding a pencil
or just like repetitive movements sometimes,
on
like
your like
yeah,
upper lip and like doing very minuscule movements. It's
yeah,
really
yeah,
hard.
it's very hard,
Okay. I feel like
but
that's where they lose me because I'm very like,
well, it kind of makes sense because you have muscles in your face.
no, I'm sure it
Yeah,
works. I'm
yeah.
just certainly not going to be spending enough time moving the minute muscles of my face to like make those muscles like,
I would say the thing that I do like about it, and I don't do it enough at all, but it's the kind of thing you can do in the car, while you're
mm.
sitting there. It's not, you don't need a tool, you don't need anything. You just like go
See,
and
I
like,
would feel like so obsessed with, I feel like I get so distracted. It wouldn't be safe for me to do
oh,
that while
okay.
driving, unless I wasn't
Well,
driving.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
I
you could do
guess
it
so.
like on the train or like while someone else is
Yeah, or
driving.
while you're watching TV, if you can multitask, but um, so I do think that it does make sense to me. I haven't seen any studies that show. I mean, I've seen some. I have like did a little research, and there are certain like medical facilities or institutions who say, yeah, it probably works, but I haven't seen like a study that was like,
Yeah,
this is it.
there's probably not any
Yeah, it's pretty
concrete
fresh.
evidence,
Yeah,
but I
yeah.
feel like it's also a ancestral thing. Like I feel like that like in like some Asian cultures, like
Hmm.
that's a thing where it's passed down from like generation to generation. They're like these are the little, facial movements that we do to keep our um, keep ourselves looking fresh. And I mean that's what I've heard just like anecdotally. So
I love that. I love the idea of moving your face around being something that actually will make you look younger because I'm terrified that the way that I move my face around is what's causing all of my wrinkles because it
well, I
is.
think about that too. I'm like, I
Yeah.
always joke with, like, always been told I have a resting bitch face. And
Mm,
so I try to like smile, like, especially like in video meetings and stuff. I don't want to just sit there with like a frown because that's my like resting face. And I'm sorry, but it is. And so then I try to smile, but then I'm like, but is the resting face like helping me not have wrinkles? Or like,
yes.
how does this work? I don't know. Because I also feel like when I move it, then sometimes things do like it's good for circulation. I don't know.
It depends on which muscles. And I will tell you this, like doctors have always told me that like I have just like a hyper mobile face. Like my face makes enormous expressions. And
You do
that's
have a very
why
expressive face.
my eyebrows they're going all over the place. And my dentist told me that like I have trouble with my gums because of how much I move my mouth when I speak.
What?
Like, yeah, this is a real
Apparently I'm a tongue
thing.
thruster, if that makes you feel any better.
It kind of
That's
does.
what
I
my
felt
dentist
very
tells me.
bullied when my dentist was like,
Yes, because like my dentist is like I love her, but she pulls no punches and she's like, yeah, like you're a tongue thruster. You have been since you were born, I'm sure.
whoa.
And she's like she gave me all these exercises to do and all these things and it's just I find myself at night I just like want to like thrust my tongue up again. This is probably like TMI. Like, I don't know like why I noticed this, but I just want to like go to sleep with my tongue up against my front teeth,
Yeah, I think
which
they
is
make,
apparently what makes my teeth crooked. So
yeah, they make like retainers and stuff for
Where
that.
that's
else?
what I
Where
wear
else do you
now.
put your tongue? Where else do you put it?
Apparently, some people don't do that.
Does it
I
go
think
to the
you're
top of your
supposed to
mouth?
relax your tongue when you sleep. I don't know. I'm completely unaware of what my tongue is doing while I'm asleep.
Just after my dentist said something about it and was like, yeah, you do that. And I was like, I do what? You know?
Dentists
Yeah.
are such bitchy little queens. Like, stop moving your mouth around so much when you
Yeah,
talk or
I
putting pressure
know.
on your muscle
Or
attachments and it's
like,
destroying your
I just did
gums.
Invisalign on you. Stop thrusting your tongue at night. My
Oh my
God.
God.
Jesus
I
Christ.
remember going to the dentist once and saying, I think like my TMJ is back. And he's like, well, try like relaxing your jaw at night. And I'm like, thanks.
Is he aware of what TMJ is?
Yes, because I used to have a retainer and then my teeth moved, so it didn't really fit anymore because I stopped using
Just
it. He's
relax.
like, try putting your jaw into a hammock at night, like mentally. And I'm like, okay, I'll give
Okay.
it a shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll work for like 10 seconds, and then I'll think about the state of the world and
Yeah, like
it'll
thanks.
clench up
He was
again.
he was about to retire. I think he was like checked out. He was like, yeah, do whatever.
Do
Just
better, dentist.
imagine being in a hammock like I will be when I retire.
Yeah, and he's like,
He
I'm
was
going
just
to
like
hammock.
already
You
in
should
Aruba.
too.
Hammock sounds nice.
Yeah, yeah, hammocks for everyone. Everyone's jaw.
Everyone's jaw
Um,
should be in a hammock.
I do want to talk though, Rachel. I think you are probably more of an expert on injectables, and I have been considering. There's a place here in LA that I did a lot of research because I was like, should I do this before I leave? Because I have access to all these people and blah blah blah. And there's a place in LA. I think it's called The Things We Do, and they're known for just like kind of facial balancing. And what something that's really always bothered me is that my lips are very uneven, like from one side to another. I know
They
no one
are?
notices. No one notices, but when I see it, I like can't unsee it. It's okay. I always like related to Carrie Mulligan because Carrie Mulligan has uneven lips too, which I think is funny.
She
But I was
does.
like, yeah.
I've never noticed this about either of you.
Some of us see it, some of us
I feel
don't.
I
like
think
I
that
stepped into an alternate
Well,
reality and
no, because
is
like
this
Stephanie.
fake news? Like, what's happening?
no, you and Carrie Mulligan both have great lips.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you, thank you. But I'm just thinking like, oh, should I try this? And they do, but I don't think I will because I just can't fork over the money. But like, they
Mm.
do fillers, Botox to just very subtle. Like you look at the before and afters, it's so subtle. Like it just like you look a little bit better and you don't know what happened. But there's lots of things out there. There's PRP, like the vampire facials.
Always get those from a real doctor, though.
Not an actual vampire.
Yeah, not an actual vampire and
Do
not just
not.
like a random
Yeah.
facialist.
Yeah, not someone that's an esthetician.
Yeah, well, last year there was like a breakout of like HIV in Arizona.
What?
Like, for example, in New Jersey,
That's so Arizona.
they can
Don't
vampire
get,
face.
if you live in Arizona, don't get facial treatments of any kind. You need to go to a real
Yeah.
state and get
Yeah.
your treatments.
Sorry, Arizona.
Don't do
Our-
it in New Mexico.
Look.
Certainly don't do it in Florida unless
Don't
it's
do it in Florida.
in a Jewish area. And you're probably okay.
Miami. Miami's fine.
Yeah, Miami's probably okay.
Miami is not Florida, pretty much.
But like, do
but I
avoid
do-
Florida if you can.
no, Arizona's fine. Our aunt has a house in Florida. My other aunt lived in Arizona for many years. It's fine. Just don't do the
But how
plastic
was
surgery
her,
there.
her work? Was it okay?
She had none.
Wait,
Well,
who? You're talking about Aunt Carol?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said like our aunt like actively has a house in Florida.
She does. Our other aunt,
Who?
Aunt Pam.
She has a house. Oh, I thought you meant Arizona. I was like,
No, in Florida.
okay, you
Uh,
can
our
edit
other-
this out.
Okay.
Can we mark it? Should we mark
Family
it?
geography corner is closed.
No,
Well, no,
so-
in Arizona, what happened was some like random esthetician, like med spa, was doing vampire facials, and someone came in that had HIV and they didn't know it, and they didn't do proper cleaning of their tools and stuff, and it was like passed on to a few more people. Like it was a big thing at the CDC. Like they had a whole like article on it last year. And then when I went in to get a facial, I was chatting about that incident with my facialist, and she was like, yeah, like in some states you can do sort of sketchy stuff like that, but in like New Jersey where I live and she was working, she's like like she's like, I can't do vampire facials, but I can assist a doctor. So like she also works in a doctor's office, like a dermatologist can do them and she can assist with them, but she can't like actually do them.
Mm.
So just
Okay,
be
so
careful. Just
what
be careful.
what do vampire facials do?
Um, I think the idea that it has something to do with taking like blood from you
Well,
and
yeah,
like the plasma, like spinning out plasma or
yeah,
something. And
yeah.
I think it's supposed to stimulate like maybe collagen production or
I think
something.
you're right. Like platelet-rich plasma is the same thing, right? PRP.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
you're supposed to use, I mean, it's your blood that's going back on your face.
Yeah,
Yeah, or
but
your plasma.
into it,
Plasma,
they
yeah.
inject it,
Unless you
right?
go to a place where they don't clean their tools. But yeah, I don't know.
I feel like that should be like a one-time use type of tool, you know?
Well, it
Yeah,
probably
it should be.
is.
It probably is meant to be, but
Yeah, not in
you don't want
Arizona.
to be going to any Arizona fly-by-night med spas, I guess is
Oh my
what we're
God.
saying.
No.
Yeah.
Just
Just go get some retinol over the counter. Like,
get
Yeah.
the tretinoin. What? How do you
tr
Tretinoin.
pronounce
tr
it?
Some people say tretinoin. I said tretinoin for a long time. I don't know what it
Tretinoin.
is. Yeah.
It's hard to pronounce, but it is
Yeah.
a really good product. And the thing
Yeah.
that I
Yeah.
like about it is when you get it with a prescription and you have insurance, it's very inexpensive. It's like $5.
Oh, that's not the case for me, unfortunately.
No.
Yeah, my insurance does not cover that.
Oh.
Oh.
But that is good if you can get it. That's amazing. Maybe it will now. I don't know why it would change, but maybe it will. That would be. I haven't had to buy it in a really long time.
Yeah.
So it lasts forever too.
Yes.
It's worth trying to put it through insurance and
Yeah, I
see
will
see what
try.
it does. Yeah.
What was I gonna say? But yeah, so I think, but other injectables. So there's lots of new types of fillers out there. There's Botox. Um, so what is our experience with those, and do we like them? How do we feel? Would we do them? If not, haven't done them yet.
I love Botox because of the aforementioned problem with moving my face around so much. I really love getting Botox and just freezing my forehead so that I cannot move it, which is maybe some people might say that's too much Botox, but I like I can't control my facial expressions and sometimes it gets me into trouble and it's really lovely to just be able to like be out in the world and people can say anything to me and I just like my face will not react and it's such a comfort to not have to it's like I don't have to try to not like look askance at what somebody is telling me when I've had my Botox. And also it does, it prevents those I have like, really deep, deep wrinkles on my forehead from
You don't
like
have deep
I
Yeah.
wrinkles.
do, and it's from moving my face around so
You
much.
don't have deep wrinkles.
They're deep. They're
No.
but they're getting less deep, and I have started getting less Botox because I feel like I don't need it as much now that I'm like aware of how much I move my face and
Mm-hmm.
can consciously like not use those muscles. Also, they probably when they're frozen for so long, they probably atrophy. So if
Yeah.
I'm conscious of like not moving them around so much, it'll
Yeah.
probably be helping with the problem.
I guess that's my
Um,
fear about Botox is like, what if my muscles atrophy and then they have to droop? But like, I don't know
I
if
think
I
you
don't
would
think it's
have
actually.
to, this is a problem. Like that is a real problem that I
That
think
happens.
people
Yeah.
have, but not us because we're in our 30s. And
Oh, true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's more preventative
Yeah.
at this point, I think. Yeah.
so
My
my mom
facialist said,
has,
oh, sorry, you go. Yeah.
oh, I was going to say my mom has been getting Botox like every 3 months, like clockwork for like 15 years.
She looks great
And she
too.
looks great, and she doesn't
He
have
looks great.
anything drooping or anything like
That's
that.
true. Yeah.
So
She
I
looks
think
Yeah.
great.
you just have to like go to a good doctor
Yeah. And keep it
and
up.
listen to your doctor and
Yeah.
keep it up if you want to keep those results.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what my facialist said because um, I was very close to getting it at one point, but then I panicked because I asked my facialist about it and she was like no, she was like, no judgment, people come in all the time, do what you want, blah, blah, blah. But she was like, it's just if you can't keep it up, like it's expensive. And if something were to happen where like you couldn't do it, or like over time, like your muscles will atrophy and then you're kind of screwed. And and then she was telling me about, clients she has that have like really bad problems with that because they did it for a long time and they stopped. And so I kind of panicked and I was like, I'm not ready for
Well, I
that
think it
sort of
also,
commitment,
yeah,
but yeah.
I think it also depends on where it goes. Because if you put it like into your eyebrows, that's gonna be an issue. And so you have to be like
Mhm.
really like, I think based on what I see on Instagram, which is of course the end
Such a
all be all,
reliable source for medical
wonderful
advice.
source. But that's from people who do injections, and they're like, yeah, you're not supposed to do it like certain areas because things can droop, and so it's like I
Hmm.
guess you're supposed to focus more on like,
Yeah,
you
and
know.
you're not supposed to put it like in your cheeks or like around your eyes too much. I feel like it looks weird, but like
Hmm.
forehead. Yeah, I've heard stories of people who put it in their had it injected into their cheeks and then they couldn't smile for months. Like that's not something I think any of us want here on the
No.
Sofalite chat, but maybe there are some Sofalites out there that don't want to smile. No
I wouldn't
judgment.
put it in my cheeks, but
Mm-mm.
there's like a small line kind
Yeah,
of like
like
right
here
here,
you
like the
can do it.
marionette line. If you are like me and you're constantly just like, making huge faces with your bottom part of your face, I feel like it could work. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
like one or two in
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that area.
yeah. I think they do say like down here is sometimes okay. But it just depends on your face and who's injecting, I guess, and how much you're putting in. So,
Yeah. And
I
I haven't done this, but I'm a big fan of the look of the lip flip. I think that it
mm,
looks very nice when it's done correctly. I haven't done it, but I feel like I'm in favor.
mm-hmm.
What exactly is the lip flip?
The lip flip is a Botox procedure that you, instead of doing like fillers in your upper lip, because that is really, really painful, they just do like very strategic Botox and it freezes like the stiff upper lip part of your lip
Okay.
muscle. So it's just instead of it like being fuller, it looks fuller because it's just like kind of relaxed. And it
Uh,
gives you kind of like a flipped up look. A really good example of this would be Ariana Grande in the Wicked movie had
okay.
had the lip flip, and I think it looked great. She had a little trouble pronouncing her F's. So that's something to watch for. But
Yeah.
Okay. So like more
Uh,
surface area, so it looks bigger.
yeah, basically. And that's the thing about Botox too, is like you try it if you don't like it, you like it'll wear off and you can try something different.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
true.
that's true. That's a good
Yeah.
point.
I did go and did get Botox once in New York, and the second like you're supposed to go in for consultation like afterward. Um, the I went in and like they were really nice. They were great. I really liked them. But I forget what their name was. I wish I could plug it. But I went in there like, so do you want to do like anything else? And I was like, oh, I was thinking about like lip filler. And then they're like, okay, we're gonna like numb your mouth then and give us 10 minutes. So like she numbs my mouth and I sat there and I'm like, I don't want to do this. And so they
whoa.
came back in and I was like, I don't want to do this. And I'm like, will my lips change shape forever? And she's like, yeah, probably.
Forever?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
I
don't
mean, it's
know about
possible.
forever,
It's possible because if it doesn't dissolve or whatever.
but it
She's
does
like,
dissolve.
yeah, but not always. It does. It sometimes gets stuck. Yeah, this is another horror thing that can happen. You have to get it physically to dissolve sometimes.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, and it could stretch out. She's like, yeah, it might. And I was like, I don't think I want to do this. And she's like, that's okay. She's like, no problem. And so I walked out and I was like, gonna go meet some friends at a cafe to work, and I just couldn't feel my lips the whole day. And
Kind of like getting a cavity filled.
yeah,
Like
An odd
yeah,
Novocaine.
experience.
yeah. So if you don't want, if you even if you're in the chair and you're like, wait, I changed my mind, you can do that too.
Of
But
course, you can always change your
You can
mind.
always say
yeah,
no.
Yeah, but
Can always say stop.
And
I
here's
mean
what I
that
will
yeah.
tell you about a lip filler is even if they numb you to high heaven, it still hurts like a
Oh,
bitch.
really? Oh, that's so
So
bummer.
painful.
Really?
So painful.
Oh no.
Uh,
Yeah,
uh,
yeah.
So
I did.
I will
well,
not be participating probably
Yeah,
on that
ever.
note,
yeah.
Which is why I
I
need that lip mask because like that's, you got to keep your lips healthy and
yes,
as hydrated as you can.
yeah, that's true.
yes,
I
And
do.
yes.
I need to use like something, not the lip mask because of the aforementioned blackhead issue, but like something like right around my lips because of
Mm,
possibly how I speak, but probably because I used to smoke, like getting the little lines,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
around, which,
I'm
oh,
worried about that
yeah.
too because I also used to smoke.
yeah.
I'm worried about that too. Also, I think my mom does this thing with her lips where she kind of like purses them while she's like, and then like releases them while she's focusing. And once
Mm.
someone told me that I do that, I'm like, oh, that's a lot of extra lip movement, pursing. So
See, it causes
yeah,
wrinkles. This is
No, I'm freaking out now.
yeah, yeah.
I'm pretty sure I
But
pursed my whole
but
face.
let's reassess though, guys. Yes, we all want to look youthful and beautiful, and we have the right to do whatever we want. And but it's also, you know, I think as long as you're like my mom always said, and I think it's somewhat true. She's like after 40, or she's like before 40, you don't have a choice. And Abe Lincoln said this, right? You don't have a choice of what you look like before 40. After 40, it's your response. It's on you, basically. Us
Abe
being
Lincoln
happy.
said that?
I think so.
What,
But
apropos of what?
I don't know.
Were they like,
Yeah.
Abe, do you want to rethink the hat before your portrait? And he was like, let me
Hold
tell
on.
ya,
Like, this
Yeah.
is
after
on me.
40, this is
Oh
the me
my
that I want to go down in history
no.
as
Hold
It's
on.
on
Hold on.
stupid
me,
hat,
guys.
Hold on.
weird beard that only covers the bottom of my face.
Well, he
Someone
had the
said
hat to
this.
cover the other half.
Okay, yes.
Like a
Oh, he's
frame.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Do you hear my dog? She's like, "Let me out of here."
Oh,
Okay, fine. I'll let you out.
soon,
Yeah.
Lilac.
He says someone said after 40, every man gets the face he deserves. Which means that if
Okay,
you're
That's
I
a
feel
little
if
like
harsh.
no, that's not the same thing. Because I've heard that appropriated in the
it's
gym a
George
lot.
Orwell, it's George Orwell.
Oh,
And
not
at
Abraham
50, he
Lincoln.
says at 50.
Everyone gets the face they deserve.
Yeah.
Because
Come
I've
here.
heard trainers say a lot in the gym that after 30, everyone gets the body they deserve. And they mean that to say, like,
If you're
you
not
used to,
trying.
yeah, like you used to be able to, like, not exercise and eat French fries and, like, still be in pretty good shape. But after 30, all of that changes.
Yeah. No, but I guess what that means is if you were angry and vengeful and your face is always expressing that, then you're gonna look angry and vengeful.
Well,
So
this is why the Botox.
yeah, I guess, but
Because
um,
I'm constantly making this face,
you know what?
this like
I actually,
incredulous, like furrowed face.
well,
And
okay, actually, Abraham Lincoln did say something. He said every man over 40 is responsible for his face. That's a little bit nicer
uh,
way of saying it. So that just
But they
means
didn't have Botox
that's
back
what I'm
then.
saying. No, that's all I'm saying is like we are happy, kind people. I don't think we're gonna look like, mean ladies after 40, okay?
well, we're certainly not because of all of the aforementioned skincare routine
Yes,
steps
yes,
that we are
yeah.
taking, except for me. Honestly, like, I'm so impressed with both of you. The only thing that I'm doing is Botox. And how I justify it is that it costs probably the same amount for me to like get Botox quarterly as it would cost me to pay for all of these like myriad products that are like better for my skin, but take a longer
Certainly adds up.
time to
Yeah.
like
Yeah, no, I mean, like, and
it's
honestly,
pure laziness. Like
but you also have children. Like, I can spend as much time in the bathroom without some kid coming in and being like, yo, what's up, mom? Like, come out of the bathroom so I can do whatever I want.
honestly, I haven't washed my face like with water in probably 4 years because I can't run the water after my kids go to bed because it's too
How do
loud.
you, Oh,
I use like a cleansing oil, or
okay.
sometimes I use a micellar water.
You know what I would do?
Okay.
Fill up a bucket like they used to in the olden days, like one of those bowls
I
with
simply will not.
You can
no,
have a
for
collapsible.
next
I have a
time
Give
collapsible
me more
bowl
stuff
at Christmas, I'm
that
going to get you a beautiful ceramic antique bowl,
that I can
and it's
fill up
gonna
before the kids go to
yes,
bed.
yes,
yeah. Yeah.
obviously, and then you have a little like they used to do in the olden days, and then you have like a little washcloth, and then you can do whatever. Oh, another
Now,
thing, another good tip: don't use a washcloth to dry your face if you have acne. Get those either air dry or use those like disposable ones. They're very wasteful, so try to buy the bamboo
The
ones if you use
clean
them.
club
I don't use
ones.
those. They're more expensive. You can get cheaper ones that are made out of bamboo. But yes, Clean Skin Club or whatever it's
Clean
called.
skin club. Okay. I have like dozens of washcloths that I'm constantly using.
I mean, you got to use it once, I guess. But even so, it might have bacteria on it. So,
I wash them.
Sonny, don't look at me like that. There's just like bacteria in the air and in the water and in the washing machine. You
so
never
you
know.
never use a washcloth on your
No,
face.
I do, but I'm not supposed to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if I'm breaking out, I won't because I know that could be a big. I try to either air
Hmm.
dry or if I don't have any of the disposables right now because I'm trying to reduce waste and
Now that's just for drying. What about for like actually washing, like the mechanical like washing
I mean I
part?
just use
No
my
washcloth?
hands, but
Just your
people
I
hands.
just
you
use
can
my
use
hands and
yeah.
I get those like the wristbands that like so
Yes,
they
Steph
like
got me.
kind of
These are a game
catch.
changer. They're game
They're
changer. Yeah.
actually kind of a game changer because they catch the water so it doesn't like run down your arms and stuff. And
That's
so
seriously the most annoying part about washing my
Yes,
face
I know
yeah,
is
exactly.
that
I'm
the
gonna get you a
entire
pack of
bathroom
three.
is like
I'm
wet
gonna get you a
after.
pack of three for Christmas because they're game changing. I think I got my mom like
No,
10 of them.
literally, we had to be like, "Mom, you have to wash your face at night."
Well,
Um,
she just passes out
I know,
and
but then
yeah.
and she's like, "But they get all the water gets all over my arms," and I'm like,
Well, so
"Stephanie has a solution."
this is what I love about the micellar water is
Yeah,
that like
yeah,
it gets your makeup off, and I use it
yeah,
Yes.
mostly for my eye makeup. And then I'll do like a cleansing oil for like the foundation,
yeah,
the
yeah,
rest of the makeup, you know.
yeah,
But then
Yeah.
after that, you still have to like splash with water, so it's like it's kind of fraught.
yeah,
It's like
yeah. That sounds stressful. All right.
Yeah. You could also get like a spray bottle and like
Yeah.
spray yourself
Well, that's a good
down.
idea, and then wipe
that
it
is a
down.
good
I don't know if you
idea.
Yeah,
hear
and
my
then pat
dog.
it.
She's
Yeah.
I try to, yeah. I mean, I don't know. Like honestly, it's all a
Some
lot.
days if I get
What was
Excuse me.
that?
That was my dog.
Was it a growl? It sounded like a burp.
No, it wasn't. Like she's a husky. So she talks.
Lilac, I want to see you.
All right. Do you want to come up, Lilac? You want to come make an appearance on
What is Lilac's skincare routine?
get as dirty as possible, then get mad at me when I try to clean her. Yeah. I try to clean off her paws every time we go on a walk because it's disgusting out there,
But yeah,
and she gets very mad.
she'll get used to it. I clean Ruby's paws every time we come in the house with wipes that are lilac
Yeah.
scented, actually, that are lovely.
Oh.
Yeah, I use little baby wipes that are bamboo baby wipes.
Oh.
Yeah, and sometimes I use those to get off my makeup too. So we both use
Yes,
them.
baby wipes are a game
Yes.
changer. Oh, and on the subject of washcloths, so when you have babies, people give you like literally like hundreds of washcloths. I don't know
Yeah.
why everybody does this, but they are made of these like microfibers and they're super, super soft and gentle. And now that the kids are not
Ooh.
babies anymore, I use them when I clean my face.
That's perfect.
And they're lovely and they wash really
Nice.
nicely and it's good stuff.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
that's nice. Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
did you hear that?
Yeah.
Sorry. All right, I might need to go take her on a little walk.
Is there, to wrap up, is there
Yeah.
anything, any like weird skincare tricks that you use that we haven't talked about that like someone would not expect?
Lilac says
Lilac?
yes. What is your skincare routine, Lilac?
Ice
Being
cube facials are very cheap. And all I mean by this is, fill a bowl with like filtered water or something, put a bunch of ice cubes in it and like splash on your face. And again, if you're puffy or anything, it's gonna wipe that out. And I love it because it's inexpensive. It's like basically free, but it's also really invigorating first thing in the morning.
I love that.
Yeah, I like that
Yeah.
too. I have just used olive oil when I was out of jojoba oil, and it worked fine. Yeah, as long as it's a good clean olive oil.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
actually, and I've used that as a makeup remover when I run out of like I like the Lancome like eye makeup remover. Um Sometimes I run out of it and then I'll just do a little. I've heard coconut oil is not good for the skin on your face, but olive oil I think
Yeah,
is
I've heard
okay.
that's okay. Olive oil is actually pretty good for your skin. Yeah, just don't. I think the moral of the story is don't pull at your face when you're cleaning. Don't
Yes.
pull at your face when you're applying things. Use retinol
Make it
and
slippy with some oils. Yeah,
make it
use
slippy,
retinols.
and then
Use
get a good
retinol at
injector.
night. Always use SPF.
And get a good injector.
And don't
Get a
stress
good
about men.
injector
And
and don't
then,
stress about men.
Don't stress about men. What about dogs? Can you stress about dogs? Because
Well,
um, I think that's inevitable, but
yes, dogs
I
a
and
little bit.
kids.
guess it's how it happened. Yeah, Lilac, you're giving me wrinkles right now.
Oh
Did
my
you hear? You're
God.
giving me wrinkles.
She said, yes,
Also,
I am.
something I should do more of, just in
My gosh.
general,
Do you see her?
meditation. But have you ever seen those before and after pictures of people who like meditate every day for 6 weeks and how they look 20 years younger? And that's not the point.
She's doing it again.
Lilac!
She's
You
pushing
you
you.
cannot show my dog trainer that. She's not my dog trainer. She's hey. She just does
Lilac.
daycare for us, but she's also a dog trainer. You cannot show her this because she's gonna be like, that dog's out of control, and we're gonna
We'll
take her
edit
away
that
from her.
out because Lilac is not behaving, and we still want your dog trainer to listen to this podcast.
All right, I better get going because
All
she's
right.
gonna. All right, so to wrap up, anything else?
No, I think that that is it. I'm gonna really seriously. I was like, oh, I should be writing these brands down as you guys were talking, not even remembering that I'm recording this podcast and can
We'll put
literally
them on
come back to
Instagram.
it at any time. So yeah, for our listeners out there, if you have faves, if you love the brands that we talked about, if you have other skincare
Yeah.
tips and tricks, or if you have any questions for Gretchen, who is like our amateur esthetician.
Yeah.
Uh,
I'm impressed.
Well, I just did a lot of research. I can't. Don't take that. I'm not a doctor.
yeah, we're not doctor. Well, Stephanie is a
Well,
doctor,
Stephanie is
but
a
not that
doctor.
kind of doctor,
not that
but
kind of
Yeah.
doctor.
also exfoliation is really important. We didn't talk about that,
Well, maybe not physical exfoliation though.
but like chemical,
Yes, but
We
we did talk
talked a
about
little
we
bit
talked about
about it.
chemical, yeah, exfoliation. Yeah,
I guess.
yeah.
How often do you exfoliate?
Not you're not. It depends on your skin, but you're not supposed to do it more than like once or twice a week.
Okay.
Yeah, I have these like it's like a two-step thing that I got from my esthetician. She said like they're marketed to do them every day or every other day, and she's like if you do it once a week, that's great. But it's like a two-step thing. It kind of tingles, but yeah, it's like a chemical exfoliant type
Oh,
thing.
I do like that one from the Ordinary. It's very good. I'm an
Yeah,
Ordinary
it's not
fan.
from the ordinary, but it's from I forget.
Yeah.
I'll send you guys a
All right. We
picture.
can tag some stuff on Instagram so people can find it too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yay, so that
Yay.
I
Yeah.
can find it, because honestly, I
Yeah.
need to be a better student of all of this stuff. I'm so
Yeah.
grateful to you guys for your time. And
Well, I'm glad that you can share your Botox experiences because
Yeah,
and
thank you
talking
for
about your
sharing.
mom who's looks
always,
amazing. So that's a
Yeah.
she
good thing
gets
to
a lot
know.
of fillers too, honestly. She's like,
Oh, she looks so natural. So
She
she gets
looks
great work.
like the same as she's always looked.
she looks
It's
exactly the same.
amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
it's a lot
Whatever
to
she
live up
does looks
to.
very natural.
You have those genes. You're fine, Rachel. You got the genes.
It's
Yeah.
not her
You're
genes, it's the
fine.
fillers.
Well, she could leave you her instructions of how and when she does them.
I go to
So.
her same injector, so
Oh, there you go.
we're right on the path.
Yeah, yeah. You're just
Good.
inheriting the checks.
Good.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for joining. Hope this was helpful. Let
Thank
us
you for
know what you
joining
guys
us.
think of your own
Yes.
routines. So,
Go and do
yeah.
some self-care.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Thanks,
Self-care is
everyone.
important.
Have a
Bye.
Sofa Light week.
Bye.
That's not.